Good day to you and welcome, I'm utteration, and today I'm gonna start a new design analysis series about Might and Magic 6, 7, 8, 9 and maybe even 10. Now this iteration, Might and Magic 6, is right now 14 years old, and yes, you can see it. The resolution of the game is actually something like 640 to 480, something like that, and it's in 43. The black corners will always be there, the black bars, and I cannot do anything without it. Now this is the GOG version, I have it from a long time ago, and well, I'm really looking forward to this, because a 14-year-old game might actually have some mechanics which are not anymore in the games, such as I'll show you the creation, as I have played it a long time ago, but I still can't remember how Might and Magic did things, and I actually really like this design. But the goal of this will be to analyze the game, so I will be analyzing the game, telling you or voicing you my concerns about good and bad design choices, what could be improved, what is actually really outdated and really bad. Outside the graphics, of course, now we're talking about gameplay stuff, and I think that this is important because for some reason I liked Might and Magic 7 the most of the series, even though Might and Magic 6 actually has the highest critical praise. Now Might and Magic 6, if I remember correctly, got at its time something around 90%, which is really good. And just a short introduction to the game, Might and Magic 6 The Mandate of Heaven is a 3DO game made by 3DO, obviously, New World Computing. It's said to be the best in the series. It's one of the first semi-open world RPGs with this kind of big open world. Now, there were Ultimas before, but this one is first person, which is unique, and in this case it's actually probably the first large first person RPG ever made. If I'm incorrect, please tell me, but I still haven't been able to find anything that's older than 1998 and is actually first person, even though this is group based. Now the world works in a way that you have small maps between which you can travel freely, more or less. So it's actually, I'm calling it semi-open world because you have still these little chunks between which you can travel, but in today's games it would be a completely open world without any map changes. But in Might and Magic there are always these little maps which actually differentiate between the world, so you have to like travel between the borders. It's not bad, it's manageable, but I still think that it could be called open world, as you can more or less freely travel around the world. So let us begin with the new game.
Having cheated death during the night of shooting stars, you find yourself as far from your village of Sweetwater as old Falagar's magic could take you. 3 years have passed while Falagar imparted what knowledge he could to train you in your chosen professions. But the time came at last when he could teach you no more, and you have ventured into the world to seek your fame and fortune.
Okay, this is really stereotypic. I'm just gonna take the volume a bit up.
Of a terrible conspiracy involving a new religious cult. 5 letters from King Roland to his wife Catherine, and a letter from the King of the Devils to a wicked traitor named Sulman have turned up in an abandoned goblin camp. Your fate seems inextricably bound to these letters and that awful night, and your role in the events to come may be larger than anyone could imagine. The tools you have are but a small sum of gold, your wits, and a lot of potential. The roads ahead are infinite, and all the choices are yours to make. So choose wisely. Good luck.
Alright, so we're gonna start in New Sorpigal, if I remember correctly. And this is a really stereotypical thing. I didn't really wanted to show you the intro because it's so long and it's just really bad intro overall. There are the devils, which are called Kragans, if I remember correctly, and well, you just see them there. And they came from the from one of the asteroids we just bumped in. There are travels between the worlds, and there are kind of like grasshoppers or these things. They just, you know, jump everywhere, eat everything, and continue to the other field, in this case another planet. And well, you are one of the group which actually survived their, let's say, attack, and Wizard Falagar took you in and trained you. Now in this intro, in this cinematic, I was just like, who the heck is this? Am I supposed to know him? And there was this references to Mandate of Heaven. Like, really, it's a really bad one. But let's go into party creation. Okay, this is much quicker than it should be. You see, the flames are extremely quick. It used to be very, very slow. Now, we have our characters here. They are somewhat set, so you can see that we have a solid amount of avatars. And we have 6 classes. So I'm probably gonna go with, let's see, Paladin. Oh, so if you right click, you can see some answers. A cross between a knight and a cleric. Okay, so let's go, knight. A class is the workhouse fighting class. Yep, knight starts with a large selection of weapons and armor and may ultimately use any weapon type or armor. Being the toughest warrior of the classes, knights begin with the greatest number of hit points and get the most number of hit points when they advance in level. Knights can be promoted to cavalier status with a 2 hit points per level gain, and then champion status with another 2 hit points per level gain. Knights may never learn spells, nor may ever learn the meditation skill. Yeah, so meditation increases your mana, if I remember correctly. Paladin, a cross between knight and cleric. Paladins perform both roles well, but not as well as the more focused classes they borrow from. Like knights, paladins can learn to use any type of weapon or armor, although they don't have as many choices to begin with. Paladins also begin with spirit realm of magic and can also learn the clerical mind and body realms. This is useful. They cannot, however, learn to use the greater realms of light and dark, nor any of the elemental realms. Paladins that are true to their cause can be promoted to Crusader, gaining 1 hit point and spell point, and ultimately to Hero, gaining another hit point and spell point per level. Paladins may learn all of these secondary skills. Then we have Cleric. Clerics in Enroth are adventuring, spellcasting holy men. A cleric is mediocre fighter, but an excellent spellcaster, with spells concentrating on healing and defensive themes. Clerics and sorcerers are the only 2 classes that can learn from the mirrored path of light and dark, and the awesome spells these realms of magic offer. They are unfortunately rather limited in their weapons, with mace, staff and bow being their only choices. You don't want more than that. Armor is a little better, with blade being the only kind forbidden them. And they have no restrictions on secondary skills. With much diligence and study, clerics can be promoted to priest, gaining 1 hit point and 1 spell point, and another hit point by high priest. Okay. Archer. Like paladins, archer is a hybrid of knight and sorcerer class. Archers may learn to use any type of weapon. They may never learn shield or plate armor skill. They are compensated by beginning with air realm and magic and may eventually learn to use the rest of the elemental realms. The greater realms of light are, however, beyond their grasp. Archers can be promoted to battle mage, 1 hit point and 1 spell point per level, and eventually to become warrior mages, so another 1 hit point and spell point per level. All of these secondary skills are open to archer. Sorcerer, well, this is a magician, right? All the elemental magic. Sorcerers concentrate of offensive and utilitarian magic. Sorcerers are downright rotten fighters, barely able to learn to use dagger, the staff, and the bow effectively. They are forbidden any kind of armor or shield, and have the lowest hit point of all of the classes. With that aside, sorcerers can wield mighty offensive spells and have access to merit part of the light and dark, from which come the best spells in the lands. After plenty of spellcasting experience, sorcerers can be promoted to wizard, gaining 1 hit point and 1 spell point per level, and then archmage, gaining another hit point and spell point per level. No secondary skills are forbidden. And druid. Druid are hybrid of the sorcerer and cleric. Have relatively few hit points. On the plus side, druids can be used both as sorcerers and clerical magic. Druids may not learn light and dark magic, and they can only use staff, dagger and bow as weapons, while wearing only leather and shield as armor. All secondary skills are open to druid, and as added bonus, druids may begin the game with the learning skill. By the way, learning skill gives you extra experience, if I remember correctly. Druids can be promoted to Grey Druid, 1 hit point, 1 spell point, and eventually Archdruid. So, these are the classes. Might and Magic 6 works slightly differently than the newer ones. It actually allows you to master every single skill that your class can actually learn, which means that if you have a sorcerer, the difference between sorcerer, druid and any other elemental magic class is that mages simply can use light and dark. The other ones really can't, but they can also master the elemental magics. And right away I know that this one will be sorcerer. This one will be cleric, definitely. Yeah, let's get the blonde. Let's get this one as a sorcerer. You will be a good warrior and you will be something else. Now, the question is whether you will be paladin or knight. Knight has no magic, higher endurance, higher speed, no personality. Okay, so you will be knight, definitely. Or maybe paladin, we'll see, depending on the other one. Because if I get a druid, druid might be kind of fun. Cleric, can cleric wear, what armor can cleric wear? The mediocre fighter. There, unfortunately, armor is a little better with the plague. Okay, so they can wear chainmail. Druids can wear leather. That would be nice. An archer can also wear shield. Yeah. Cannot learn the shield. Archer cannot learn the shield. I wonder. Am I gonna get just another paladin? It could be actually good to have 2 tanks in this game, even though magic is supposed to be kind of OP, so I'm gonna go for archer. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the archer here, just so that I have another elemental magic. And he also starts with air magic, which is useful because of 1 spell, and knight. The question is, do I want knight or paladin? Knight or paladin, 2 heals, definitely 2 heals. Barret, Lara, Mari, Zoltan. Every single time you're Zoltan. Now let's call it Jesper, that's better. Barret, Lara. So, Jesper has a sword, spirit magic, and what other 2 skills can I add to him? It's probably gonna be shield, as I already have sword, and I might learn mace later on. And I have no armor right now, so it's gonna be chain. Jesper has bow, air magic. You're gonna learn disarm. Yep, that's very useful. And an axe. No one else gonna use axes, so I'm gonna give you an axe. Cleric. Now you have mace, body magic. I'm gonna give you shield. And I'm gonna give you diplomacy. Helps to soften the impact of begging, bribing, threatening someone. The higher skill, the less your reputation will suffer. That's an interesting one. Repair. I might actually want to choose repair in here, because I know that the cleric can use chainmail, so leather is not really worth it. So let's go for repair. And in here, I already have air magic in here, so I'm gonna get stuck with magic. Already have daggers. Now identify item is extremely useful. And am I gonna give you meditation? Or am I gonna give you leather? I'm gonna give you meditation. Just so that I have more of you. Now, this setup is done so that I have the healer, magic, so that this might be fun. Now, if I give you plus, yeah, it just adds a +1. Okay, so I'm gonna give some personality in here, as I should go through them. Might is obviously characters with high amount do more damage. Intellect, a high intellect contributes to spell points. Personality, spell points for clerics and paladins and druids. Intellect is for sorcerers, archers, and druids. Endurance, hit points, accuracy. High accuracy will allow your character to hit monsters more frequently. Yeah, because this is a dice roll. Speed is measure how quick a character is. High speed statistic will increase character's armor class and the rate which the character recovers from attacks. So every single time you attack in combat mode or outside of combat, this turn-based mode, you have some recovery time. This influences the recovery time even for spells and attacks. I think that even for spells. And luck has subtle influence in the game, but is most visible in the ability of characters to resist magical attacks and avoid taking as much damage from traps. So luck is actually not that useful. What I'm gonna add is a bit of might in here. Definitely a lot of personality in here, as I know that I'm gonna use those spells a lot. This. Now, I'm gonna use your accuracy. Now, intellect. Let's pump it up. Okay, 25 is max. So, I'm gonna improve her speed a lot. Your speed slightly more. Your speed a bit more also. Let's give you extra might. Let's give you a few extra speed. So everyone was on 14. Well, this is it. The first Might and Magic 6 creation party. Now, about this party creation, I really like it because you can see everything in here. If you right click, you get some basic info. You can buy some basic info here, even for the skills. For example, mace, expert mace swingers do extra damage with their weapons, while master ranking gives a chance to stun opponents. That's a really nice one if you are a master. Sword skill, for example, pyramids, you can have dual hand if you want to, and reduces recovery time, so it's slightly faster afterwards. But maces deal more damage and have chance to stun the opponent. So you have a lot of information just in here, but not enough to get overwhelmed, I think. Just because how clean it looks. You have this, you have the avatar, you have a name, you have a class, available skill, and as you change, you can see what you added. So you have this white stuff is what's... Oh, I forgot. Intellect. Yeah, sure. I completely forgot that I can do this. Yeah. Some extra points. Luck. Yeah. Let's get the luck down. At least by 2. And I have some extra points because the red ones are what you actually went below the standard. So I'm gonna give everyone a speed bonus. I'm gonna give everyone a little endurance bonus for slightly more HP, and I'm gonna give everyone a little bonus in terms of accuracy. And is there anything we could really use? Yeah, probably cleric, 1 bit endurance extra. Because cleric is really important. Marish is gonna be really important. So everything is really clear. You can see the colors help a lot. You have these basics, which actually change as you change the classes, and you always have just 2 skills, which you choose from the 9 in here. Nothing overwhelming, nice, clean, simple. I think that this is a really nice way of creating party. And even though I prefer the way Might and Magic 7 does it, because there's slightly more stuff, you have more classes than in here, this is still a pretty nice thing. And I kinda miss that we don't get these party creations today. Because with today's AIs, you could actually get a lot of stuff from here. And if you take a look at this solo stuff, the solo character, it is a bit reminiscent of MMORPGs. You select a class, you select 2 extra skills, which are kind of like path or way of the god you actually worship, and you see right away that you are a paladin, so you will be, you will be the tank, or with slight healing capabilities and these things. And it's not like, let's say, Skyrim or Gothic, where you have these open paths, and even though you will go these paths down and actually specify in one way or another, you have this open road in front of you as you begin, and you learn a lot of stuff. Now in here, you right away have to choose what the character will be, and that really probably persists in just indie games which are a bit retro. They are actually there to remind us of the older stuff like Might and Magic 1 up to 5 and those MMOs. So let us begin. Oh, these loading screens. And yeah, this is horrible. So how do I move? Well, you know what? I'm gonna leave this for the next episode. Thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the first episode, and next time we're gonna take a look at... what is this map? Is it New Sorpigal? Yeah, New Sorpigal. So, thanks for watching, hope that you enjoyed, and see you next time.